Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a simple, basic side table. It actually looks really simple, it looks nice, but it actually is hard to make, harder than you think it would be. I'm going to tell you the steps we're going to use. First we're going to make the basic shapes, then we're going to make the push and pull tool and make it exact measurements, then we're going to color it. Color it is the easiest part. But first of all, I want to introduce you to all the tools. We have the select tool, line tool, the rectangle tool, the circle tool, the arc tool, the paint bucket, the push and pull tool, the move tool, the rotate tool, the orbit tool, the pan tool, the zoom tool, and over here we also have the eraser. However, the eraser will look like a small pink eraser with a bit of writing on it. I don't have it over here because I'm using a Mac. However, when you do it on the computer for the school, you will have it already on the system. Okay, now, first step. Open SketchUp, and you want to start using it with meters because it is the easiest way to use SketchUp, and that's what Mr. Clark will ask you to use. You want to now use the orbit tool and try and get it that the green line is next to the red line, like that. Now you draw any square you like, but it has to be standing up square. And how you know it's a square is because when you find a dotted line in the center, like it is now, and it's showing that it is a square, it's written, and you let go. Now you orbit it around. You can zoom in as much as you want to check maybe some parts you want to check about. So I'm going to use the pen tool to move it. Now I'm going to make arcs over here because we don't want it to be normal. We want it to be special in some sort of way. So how you do the arcs is you simply press from here to, for example, here until you get the pink line. Then you get another pink line when it is circular. And you do the same for all the sides. It doesn't have to be a pink line, it could be a blue line. It's just better if it was a pink line because that's the basic way of doing it. So then you're going to have to erase this part because we don't want it, you want it a simple, nice shape. Now, you see that it's obviously paper thin and that's obviously not how it looks. So we are going to use the push and pull tool and, well, push it out. I usually do it about 5 because it looks reasonable, but sometimes I like during the tutorial but for this tutorial I'll do it about 3. Now I'm gonna draw the part of the jar, which is right here. Then we're going to draw the shaft, which is obviously bigger because it has 2 parts. Then we're going to do the same as we did to the other part by doing the curves, because the curves are actually very helpful. They make it look more professional and they make it look harder to make, which means you could get an actual better grade than just doing a square. So after you've done that, I'm just going to, you have to erase the parts again. It shows that you actually took time to make it rather than just did anything and that's it. So if when you do that, it will erase, so don't worry. And if a mistake happens, you can just use the erase tool and erase it normally. You might want to zoom in sometimes, you might not want to, it is your choice. However, that's how you do it. Now you can see that they're all curved, but obviously when we do zoom out, you want to remove that because that's not what we want. So we're going to use the erase tool again and erase all the other extra parts, like that. You might want to click all of them at the same time, but I wouldn't do it because sometimes it's too risky and it could erase your entire design. So it's your choice really if you'd rather take the risk. Then you use a push and pull tool. You want to push this one out just to make it look like a jar. Now we're going to use, and then now we zoom in. You want to draw a line, not halfway through because you want one shelf to be smaller. A straight line though, 2 straight lines parallel to each other, just like that. Now you want to use the erase tool and erase this because you don't need it. This is how it should look like right now. Just like that. Now you draw a square over here, a rectangle, because you're going to use a push and pull tool to push it inside. Now be careful when it does make a different color than it actually is because it will go down or it will disappear completely. You want to keep it white. And then now you're going to use the line tool and draw a line from here to here, because if you don't do that, it will not allow you to make it to let it in. You need to let it in because to make it look more like a jar. Now you have your jar, basic, and you want to make a shelf. You basically just push in these 2 parts, but not too much because it is going to erase it. And just like that. Doesn't really matter the size because you might want one bigger than the other. You might want to, at the end I'm going to show you how to do that little part here, but we're not going to do it for now because we want to finish first. Now you want to draw the handle basically of the jar, because what else are you going to open the jar with, right? You want to find approximate center. It's a little blue dot with a blue dot inside of it, and you want to make approximately the size. You don't want to make a perfect size because it doesn't really matter where it is, and you won't be graded for that, so you just do whatever you want. It's your bedroom after all, and you just keep doing that until you think it's good enough. And then you're going to use the erase tool, erase it on the sides. You might do that mistake if you get overlapped. No, if you want to keep the circle part, you remove the circle part like that, and use the orbit tool and push it. Not too much though, you want to push it so a hand would fit in there, not just anything. And use the pan tool to move it around, orbit to orbit it around. Doesn't matter how big space you have because you're only gonna need a little of it to put a hand inside, right? So just gonna use the push and pull tool. Careful again, don't make it go back or front too much. And there you have it, your little handle. So now we use the pan tool. You have your shelf, you have your jar, and now you want the top part that makes it look like a special kind of jar. The top part is really simple actually. What we have to do is leave a little bit space from the top and draw a rectangle like that. Use the orbit tool so you won't clash into this part, and use the push and pull tool to make it smaller. And then just use the orbit tool and erase these lines if you can. But if you can't, and it does that, you have to undo, which you would do by clicking Ctrl and Z, because I'm using a Mac and it's not the exact same. There you have it, your little side table. And finally, I'm gonna show you how to color it. And you just select the entire thing if you want it one color. Use the paint bucket tool. For now, because I think it looks best, I will use this wood, which I believe is bamboo, and just click on the shape while it is selected, and it would automatically color every single bit and part of the shape. If you want, for example, the back to be a different color, then press the select tool, select somewhere else, press the paint bucket tool, and then put the other color you want. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm keeping it bamboo. Now, you probably don't want to keep it there, you want to probably move it. So you're going to use the select tool, select the entire part, like so. Right click. If you have these options, none of them, if you want to erase it, you can do your choice. You have to go to File. You have to press Edit and go to Copy, and then you want to use the pen tool without unselecting it. You want to press Edit again and press Placed, and then it will allow you to place it in the place you want, in the way you want. And if you think it's too big, which obviously it is because all of the others are smaller, then you use the scale, which you would have like that square with a red arrow pointing upwards. And what you would do is you make it smaller or make it bigger, like that. And thank you for watching this tutorial about how to make a side table. I really hope you enjoyed it and took advantage of this tutorial. And this was Mirna.